Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, joining us are our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. But especially for us in the South, we know the health benefits that can come from connecting to nature. And now more than ever, people are taking some well-earned vacation time to be able to go outdoors, to be able to find that not only that solace, but also some great relaxation as well. Well, if you're someone who's thinking about maybe planning a trip this year, what are some things you should consider? Should you be planning ahead about where you want to go? Well, I'm excited to welcome Janelle Smith to our program today. Janelle is the Recreation.gov spokesperson. She's going to share with you guys some great ideas and tips as you guys are planning your next vacation. Janelle, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So I want to talk about, first of all, the trends that you're noticing. I know that you are a fan also of the outdoors, but what are the latest trends, Janelle, that you're noticing when it comes to popular public land destinations this year?
Well, let me first just by telling you what Recreation.gov is. It's a trip planning and reservation tool to help you make reservations at anything like campsites, booking tours to monuments and other historical locations, as well as securing permits to things like whitewater rafting. And these are to locations across the entire country. So in terms of the trends that we're seeing, just consider that in 2019, we averaged about 4 million reservations a year, and it more than doubled these last 2 years. So in 2021, that went up to over 9 million reservations. So clearly the demand for outdoor recreation has grown.
Well, with that being said, with our audience being able to see that increase in demand, Janelle, is that why they should be planning ahead then, as they're kind of thinking about their trips, about where they want to go, and maybe choosing some places that may be lesser known to others?
Absolutely. Our mantra on Recreation.gov is to plan ahead and know before you go. It's really important now more than ever with this increased demand. And just thinking about one of the example is Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado requires reservations to enter the park where they didn't 2 years ago. So knowing that before you go is so critical. Another thing is that campsites will open up for reservations about 6 months prior to your arrival date. So now is a really good time to start booking those campsites in places that you're hoping to visit.
And I want to talk a bit about, I noticed when I was prepping for the segment, Janelle, and when we're talking about Recreation.gov, we're going to remind our audience of that. I mean, there are so many great places all across this country. Is that one of the things that you're noticing, too, that people are discovering things literally in their own backyard? I mean, even here in Mississippi, where I'm broadcasting from, there are things that people may not even think about are there. Is that one of the things you're noticing, too?
Yeah, absolutely. And, for myself, I actually use our Trip Builder tool to plan our family vacations. And as I've used it, we've discovered some really interesting places that we didn't even know were there. And sometimes they're lesser known and less crowded. And so what it allows you to do through Trip Builder is you can map your route, and it provides you a map interface that will then show you things like trailheads, monuments, certainly campgrounds, but just a whole variety of destinations and activities that you may not have even known were there. And again, like you said, could be just in your own backyard.
And it's a great way for those who maybe have some vacation days. I know it happens with my dad all the time, and there's nowhere he wants to go, and those days sometimes get left behind. It's a great time to be able just to get off and get away for something that may just be a couple of hours from you. So with that thought in mind, Janelle, when we are planning for our outdoor travel experience, especially when we're going to somewhere that may be, a part of a historic tour, maybe even a trip across the country, are there any resources to consider that are available to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Something else that our visitors have really relied on are the ratings and reviews that other visitors leave. So they'll provide a star rating and even make comments about what they experienced at any of these locations. And that has been very helpful. Our mobile app is something else that our visitors have rated very high. It just adds convenience. You can make all the reservations that you need through the mobile app, but also check on reservations and look at maps as you're out there and traveling and along your travel route. So both of those are incredibly helpful tools as well.
I noticed that one of the places that I noticed in Mississippi, Janelle, Town Creek Campground for our audience on the radio side, already has almost 80 reviews on it. And so it's great to be able, like you said, to be able to go in there, to be able to take a look at what people, may be thinking about the places. So because we are going to these places, many of them being national parks and areas that are, are federal public land, are there other things we need to think about, Janelle, when we're making our plans, as well as when we get there?
Yeah, one of the things that we're encouraging folks to do is to recreate responsibly. And in fact, there's a coalition that have put out a lot of guidelines to help us not only respect the lands, but to respect each other while we're out recreating, especially in places that are getting crowded. So by doing that, it just really helps everybody have a better experience. Respecting the land, know before you go, leave no trace, and then leave the landscape better than what you found. So really encouraging that kind of responsible recreation is more important now than ever.
Love that. A lot of great information, especially for our audience that may be thinking about a vacation or just some time away, even on the weekend. There's some great resources there. Again, everyone, Janelle Smith has been our guest, the Recreation.gov spokesperson, letting you guys know where you guys can go for more information. And again, it's Recreation.gov. Recreation.gov will give you everything you need. Some great ideas, as well as the reviews that you heard Janelle mention. Janelle, really appreciate you stopping by the program and sharing this with us, and I hope you'll come by again.
Oh, that would be great. And thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
Hey, we appreciate yours as well. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.